Hello, friends. How are you all? Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. Welcome to another book review podcast by Team ThinkerViews. Today we are going to discuss about Blood Relatives, a short story by Jay Path. Short stories often prove to be an ideal choice, especially when we are on a short commute or have a limited time to get freshened up by reading. Fables, wisdom lessons, and thrillers are popular genres in this segment. Writing a short story is a challenge in itself. On one hand, you don't have the luxury of writing a few pages to set the tempo of the story and introducing prominent characters. It is like running 100 meters race. From the very first sentence, you need to give your best. We often talk about interesting short stories or small ebooks we get a chance to read. I will share some quick links in the description to such stories we have reviewed. They include Ilu, a Hindi short ebook by Kamal Upadhyay, A Woman's Ritual by Sudha Murthy, In Enemy Hands, a novella by Mainak Dar, amongst others. Continuing the quest, today we will be talking about Blood Relatives, a short story by Jay Path, as mentioned earlier. Now let us take a look at the cover page of this book. As you can see in the podcast cover, the cover page of this book is moderately attractive. Being an entry point to the virtual world explored within, the cover page creates the first impression of the book, and you all know that the first impression makes an impact. Three people are shown on the cover page. As you can see, they are actually three protagonists of the story, a daughter and her parents. Blood in the title is written with dark red color, and you can see blood drops in the bottom of all those letters. It reflects the story and its important thread in more than one ways. The spectrum of colors in the background reflects the vastness of relations. I will say a thoughtful cover page that is not very attractive, but definitely will catch your attention. Now let us take a bird's eye view to the story. Let me make it very clear. It is a very short story, just 12 pages, so I will keep it even brief. And yes, I will try to keep away the spoilers, but be advised that some of them are unavoidable, so please listen to the podcast with the consent. The story starts with Upir's arrival from school. Like any other teenager, she was preoccupied with her thoughts in her own fictional world. And according to her, her parents are misfit in that world. While her mother was curious about how her day was gone, she was keen to finish her food, complete her homework, and visit her friend Sandy. Upir meets with Sandy and Theo at Sandy's home. Sandy's uncle sent some gift to her, and they all are curious to open the gift box. What gift she might have received? How the things move forward from this point is better to explore by reading it. The story starts in an interesting way. Rather than exploring a thrilling incident or a chase or something like that, the author starts it with a teenage schoolgirl returning to her home. Based on her interaction with her family and her description to run to her friend's home, gives a hint of the girl possibly leading to some trouble. But the way the story evolves, it moves on an interesting track. Jay, the author, seems to be good at exploring scenes. In fact, the first two paragraphs of the story are enough to let a reader know that. Sometimes an author goes into too much of detailing and thus making the story slower. For this story though, the author keeps the balance pretty well. For example, quoting a scene from the book, Upir tried to complete her homework as quickly as possible. The science book lay open on her desk as she took notes. It was well torn. It was well worn, with several pages dog-eared and with a lot of neon green highlights and underlining. It is detailed yet not stretched, right? Same way, you'll find emotions are explored in the very same manner. Quoting again from the book, like always, replied Upir using a special mix of indifference, defiance, and rebellion that teenagers have exclusively for their parents. The author seems to understand the thought process of growing up kids, and he keeps writing some fantastic lines like, with his masculinity under challenge, he didn't want to look like a wheeling in front of his younger sister's friend. The end of the story is interesting, but you might be looking for more thrills with a solid conclusion. The story tries to keep a balance between thriller and paranormal genres. This possibly prevents the author from those two attributes. Of course, the main characters are developed pretty effectively, and some other characters also are mentioned during various other scenes. The way the author has explored the journey of Upir going to and from her friend's house is interesting. The contrast between both the travels, just 5 blocks away, is something you will surely enjoy. I must confess that we have received the review copy from the author, so it is value for money for us. When we got a chance to read it, the book was available at quite a high price. For a short story like this, the price must have been lower. In summary, Blood Relatives is an interesting story that is well explored in the initial segment. In fact, the conclusion could have been better. The story is good otherwise. It is pricey when we got a chance to read it, so go for it when a good promotional offer is available. From Team ThinkerViews, I would like to give it 7 stars out of 10.
So, have you already read the book? Are you planning to read it? What do you think about this book review? Do you find it helpful in deciding whether to go for the book or not? Please do share your genuine remarks via comments below. If you have enjoyed listening to the review, please hit the like button and do not forget to share it with your friends and other fellows whom you think such reviews interest more. Till we meet with our next podcast, bye bye, take care, namaskar.